There was a time when wrestling villains weren't just bad guys, they were monsters. Men so good at being hated that fans threw batteries, food, and actual death threats their way. Not because the wrestling was fake, but because the hate felt real. And today we're counting down 5 old-school heels who blurred the line between performance and pure villainy. Guys who walked into arenas knowing they might not walk out safe. So stick around, because number 1 might be the most hated man to ever hold a microphone. Starting at number 5, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, didn't need a finishing move to make people hate him. All he needed was a $100 bill and a smirk. He'd walk through crowds slapping cash into kids' hands, then snatching it back just to watch their faces drop. He even bought a fake championship belt covered in diamonds because he couldn't win the real one fairly. And the genius wasn't the gimmick. It was how believable his arrogance felt, because audiences weren't booing a wrestling character. They were booing a guy who reminded them of every rich bully they'd ever met in real life. At number 4, the Iron Sheik wasn't just playing a foreign villain. He leaned into real Cold War tension and turned it into a weapon, screaming lines like "Iran number 1, USA number 10" into live microphones. And fans didn't laugh. They lost their minds. Some of it wasn't even scripted. Promoters let him cut loose because it worked too well to stop. And he became one of the most dangerous heels to manage, not because he was unsafe in the ring, but because crowds genuinely wanted to hurt him on the way to his car. Coming in at number 3, Roddy Piper turned his interview segment, Piper's Pit, into a trap. He'd invite a babyface on, smile, build trust, then explode without warning. And the most infamous moment came when he smashed a coconut over Jimmy Snuka's head live on television with no warning and no build-up. Just pure chaos. And what made Piper terrifying wasn't his strength or his moveset. It was unpredictability, because you never knew which version of Roddy Piper was going to show up, and neither did the people standing next to him. At number 2, Jake the Snake Roberts didn't scream. He didn't need to. He spoke in a low, slow voice that made skin crawl, and he carried an actual python to the ring named Damien. And while other heels were loud and flashy, Jake was quiet and calculated, the kind of villain who felt less like a wrestler and more like a horror movie character who'd wandered into the wrong show, draping that snake over fallen opponents while the crowd sat in dead silence. Not boos, just silence. And that's how you know a heel has truly gotten inside people's heads. And at number 1, Nature Boy Ric Flair wasn't hated because he cheated, although he did plenty of that. He was hated because he was right, walking into every arena in a robe worth more than most fans' cars, surrounded by women screaming, "To be the man, you've got to beat the man," and then actually backing it up because he wasn't a coward heel hiding behind tricks. He beat legends clean, again and again, and rubbed it in everyone's face afterward, and that combination of arrogance and undeniable greatness is the hardest heel formula to pull off, and nobody has ever done it better. These weren't just wrestling characters, they were master classes in making an audience feel something real. Rage, tension, even fear, using nothing but a microphone and a persona. So who do you think deserved a spot on this list? Drop your pick in the comments, smash that like button if you grew up booing one of these legends, and subscribe for more old school wrestling breakdowns every week.